Phase 1, Program 4, Workout C. We're doing intensive strength training today. Let's talk about what's happening. We're going to begin with a kettlebell power clean. So with the power clean, we're going to start with the bell slightly below the knee and with the chest up. So let's go ahead and grab that bell, Kristen. So again, let's start from the top. All right, so grab the bell.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. Phase 1, Program 4, Workout C, intensive strength training. We're going to be going over the power clean first, so that's what we're going to start with. So we're going to start with the bell slightly below the knee, chest is up. So Kristen's going to get into that bottom position. From here, she's going to pop the hips and pull the bell up. She's going to catch the bell from the outside of the handle. And from here, she's going to drop the bell back as if you would in a swing. So she's going to pop it, catch it, drop it, pop it, catch it. There we go. We're going to do 5 reps. Now, I did introduce the single arm kettlebell clean for those who are really advanced. Now, to prepare for that clean, what we want to do is we want to go into a single arm swing, then get the pull of that clean. And that pull is just going to be pulling the arm out of the body. Then we're going to go into that drop of dropping the bell inside. So these are going to be single reps here. So we're going to swing that bell up, going into that rack position, dropping it down. Again, this is for people who are advanced enough to learn this technique. So make sure that they're solid with their single arm swing before we think about progressing them into this motion. But next, we're going to move into, before that, I'm sorry. The week 1 focus for the power clean is going to be explosive up. Week 2, drop the hips back. Week 3, drive your feet into the ground. So again, we're working on all these different movements to help with being explosive. Next, we're going to go into our USB march, suitcase march. We're going to start in a tall, tight position, grabbing the top handle. Squeeze the armpit and keep the shoulders level. From here, you're going to drive your foot into the ground and pull the opposite leg up. Make sure to keep those toes up and control your cadence. So as you're walking, make sure you're good and steady here. We're going to do 5 reps on each side. Next, we're going to go into quadruped shoulder carves. So we're going to begin with our hands and knees. What Kristen's going to do next is she's going to get ready to shake someone's hand with her thumb up. Next, she's going to raise her arm up as far as she can. And then she's going to turn her thumb down and draw a big circle with her arm. Good. She's going to go all the way to the beginning. Then she's going to pull her arm back as far as she can. Turn the thumb around and finish where she started. So, when we're going through that for week 1, the focus is going to be moving slow and controlled. For week 2, we want to be drawing the best circle that our members can. And what that means is some people may not have that full range of motion, and it might be kind of like really triangular or rectangular, whatever the fuck happens actually. But just think, they're going to do their best version of their own circle. And then for week 4, or for week 3, we're going to focus on creating tension through the tight spots. So what that means is, let's say I get stuck here, create a lot of tension by gaining a lot of force and focusing on getting tight in that shoulder as you start reaching back through the tight spots. Next, we're going to move into kettlebell deadlifts. So with the kettlebell deadlift, what we want to do is we want to start with the feet around shoulder width apart and having the handle in the center of the feet. Next, we're going to have a slight bend in the knees and we're going to reach our hips back. At this bottom position, what I want us to do is I want us to get tight by squeezing the armpit down and raising the chest up. So we're going to squeeze those armpits down, raise that chest up, and then we're going to drive our feet into the ground and stand tall. So she's going to reach her hips back, get tight, drive your feet into the ground, and then stand tall. For week 1, we're going to focus on getting tight at the bottom. Now at that bottom position, why we're getting tight is to help reinforce this spinal control. So I've seen it a handful of times where we're kind of loose at the bottom, where you're kind of looking like Simon going to the bathroom. What I want us to focus on is keeping that chest up, squeezing those armpits down to get that bottom position tight. Next week, week 2, we're going to sit into the hips as you're going down. Week 3, we're going to press the feet into the ground. as you're standing tall. Next, we're going to go into push-ups. So with those push-ups, we're going to start with our hands underneath those shoulders. Let's get it sideways view, always. This way. Yep. Next, we're going to move into push-ups. So start with the hands underneath those shoulders. Hips stay in line with those shoulders. Lower your chest down with those elbows going into a row position. Press the hands into the ground and explode up. So slow and controlled, then press up and relax. So one thing that's new that we're introducing is the row position with the elbows. So when we think about that push-up, all we're trying to think about is pulling those elbows slightly back. Again, we don't want them too far out. We want them just slightly tucked in, like we would in a row. For week 1, we're going to focus on lowering yourself down, controlled and slow. Week 2, keep the head in a neutral position. So when we're looking at a neutral position, we don't want those eyes and head up because you can crank on the neck. We just want the head to go from down here to just slightly up. So this is neutral. We don't want too much extension or too much flexion. We just want it in a neutral position. Now, for those who are feeling pretty solid in their push-ups, what you can do is introduce them into the hand release push-up. So with that hand release push-up, all we're going to do is the same thing as we would before. Lower yourself down, let go, press back up. Now, the reason that we're doing this as a progression is because you're starting from the bottom in a dead start position, so you're going to get more core involved. Next, we're going to move into the open half kneeling kettlebell stretch. Lastly, we're going to go into our open half kneeling kettlebell stretch. We're going to go into this open half kneeling position. So a half kneeling position starts with the knee forward, open, you're just opening the gate. We're going to start with the kettlebell in front of your hips, and you're going to move the bell towards the ankle. Now, when you're going through this motion, drop the hips behind your heel and press to the front of the foot to return. So again, as Kristen moves, she's dropping the weight behind the heel, pressing to the front of her foot to return. And relax. For week 1, we want to focus on keeping the knee out. So as you're going forward, don't let that knee cave in. For week 2, we're going to shift our weight into the heel. So again, pressing that weight down into the heel here. And for week 3, we're going to press the foot into the ground. So as we're coming back, we're pressing the foot into the ground. Now for conditioning, we're doing EMOM, every minute on the minute. We're going to be doing 6 goblet squats, 6 TRX rows. So teach the squat like you normally would. What we're going to do here is 6 reps. For week 1, we want to just make sure that we're being controlled in the movements. Week 2, creating tension at the top. So imagine at the top position here of the squat, we want to just create tension in the glutes and in the front of the legs, squeezing tight. And then on week 3, we're going to focus on increasing the speed slightly. So again, Kristen's going to demo 2 goblet squats for us. There we go, drive off. Perfect. We're going to do 6 goblet squats. Go ahead and relax. Then we're going to go into 6 TRX rows. Let's go ahead and demo that. So she's keeping those shoulders down, putting those elbows slightly behind the ribs. And relax.